the right of conscience, and the use of democratic process within our congregations and society at large. The fifth principle is one that I've wrestled with, but I've actually found quite reassuring lately. The children's version of this principle, every person has a voice, is a little easier to understand and easier to endorse until you read the comments on Facebook. If you're on social media and you haven't gotten into a fruitless argument, well, you could probably teach me a thing or two. But if you're like me and you find yourself tempted to be disheartened by the animosity on social media, then consider how the fifth principle applies to it. Every person has a voice is an important statement, but it does not encompass the entire principle. It misses the process. And process is important, both in terms of processing ideas and in terms of following a process. And I'd like to suggest to you that you use UUCA as your inspiration for social media and faith and democracy. When I worked on the transition team that helped add the middle hour to our Sunday schedule, I was fully invested in the success of our middle hour. And it was really hard to see the opposition to it on the city. And having worked on that team where parking and classroom space were real constraints on what it was possible for us to do, I was similarly concerned when it came to some of the comments on the city about our prospective move. Both those issues brought times in me when I wanted to just jump through the computer and just explain to people what they were missing. Of course, the truth is they weren't missing anything. They were simply expressing valid concerns which they were still processing. They needed that. That was part of the process. In the meeting where we came to vote on the move, there was a process. Before anyone could be heard a second time, everyone else got a chance to speak at least once. And everyone was limited to 2 minutes of speaking time. The effect of those rules was important. First, it was a respectful process. Second, we didn't just hear from the same voice over and over and over again. And third, people really thought about what it was that they wanted to say before their 2 minutes began. Yes, there were people who were upset by the vote results. I don't want to disregard that. Democratic processes don't magically create unanimous consensus, but ultimately the vote was highly in favor of what most of us ended up believing was what was best for the congregation as a whole. Today, I would like to suggest to you that you try on social media to think of allowing others to process their opinions and taking your 2-minute turn. When you see something on social media that you think should not go without a response, respond as if it is your 2 minutes to speak. Be respectful to your fellow community members as they are processing things. Say what most needs to be said, raise concerns that may have been missed, calmly correct falsehoods, defend those who are unjustly attacked, speak your piece thoughtfully once, and then try to trust in the process. The democratic process isn't going to get a perfect result, and real human contact can do things that social media never will. But social media is here to stay, and it's good to remember that repeatedly hearing the same voice and outright argument does not change minds. Single, thoughtful comments, however, can cause their readers to pause and think and process things differently. And perhaps that's what our goal on social media should be, to assist in the processing of thoughts and ideas. That's part of the democratic process, and I affirm it.